All up in the mix.
My bro,
In the mix.
welcome to All Up in the Mix.
What's going
You
on?
want to introduce yourself?
What's going on? Name is Qudoe. I'm a graphic designer and I also do footwear.
Cool. Where you work at, man?
Working at Nike right now.
Woo!
Yeah.
Big
You know,
time. Yes, sir.
cue the air horns.
Hey. Bum, 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 bum. You want to explain to our viewers like how we met and a story behind
Damn.
our friendship?
I don't even know where to start with that story, to be honest. I was like probably in ninth grade when I first saw Youngin just like walking across campus. Let me just paint a picture for you guys. He was not the nice, kind, caring guy giving tips at the time. He was actually taking a lot of other people's tips. I had to embarrass you and shit, but yeah, honestly, I saw him around. He was always a guy that kind of like he danced well, like he would play sports. He fought well. So it's kind of like the younger generation. We would like kind of look at him on campus and be like, oh man, it's kind of like the guy to be. And once like he graduated, I think around the time we went 10-0, SCV, like with the JV team. I think that's when you like kind of heard about like the younger kids in that group, and you saw me at like a church or something. And you saw me with Letterman. And you were like, "What up, dude? Like you go to CV?" Yeah. And that was like the first time, and then it just slowly evolved into like just talking about music. Like we would just be hanging around the same people. I met a lot of your friends in Koreatown. During that time, Youngin used to make music. He was rapping at the time, and with a couple people, and we linked up with them. And ever since then, it's just been like studio sessions. I'll never forget the first time you asked me. You were like, "Yo, do you want to just like come through to Chalice?" And I was like, what do you want me to do there? Like I thought I was just gonna do some design shit, and you're like, no, like I kind of want you to be there for like creative process of like beats. I'm trying to make beats now.
Right.
And I was like, all right. It was like 1 or 2 in the morning. You just finished a session, and we went in there, just like pulled out the kids. Like I was a kid in a candy store, bro.
Yeah.
Felt like I had gone to Guitar Center for the first time.
I feel like design and music, like they share a lot of similar elements. You know what I mean?
Hand in hand.
Synonymous.
Mm.
So, how does music inspire your design?
Man, it kind of depends. So if I'm designing for, let's say, cover art or like single artwork or something like that, I usually ask the artist or whoever's managing the artist, like, can I get like a sample or can I get the fucking wave of the song, you know, because usually it's not out yet. And I'll be like, all right, and I'll listen through it. I'll try to match the vibe, like somehow, whether it be a texture that I hear and try to make it into like a physical, actual texture.
Yeah.
Like something, this isn't music related, but I had a shoe for Kobe that I had to do. And essentially the brief was like, you have to depict his pain.
Oh,
and I was
shit.
like, what does that mean? You know, like, he's like, his physical pain, you have to like depict it on a shoe. Wow. My manager had just suggested, he was like, yo, I got a texture book, like literally just like full of like fucked up textures, like let's say cement or something like that, like bad photocopies. And he's like, just fuck with it. Like think of something with that. And I was like, man, I was so fucking confused, bro. Like I didn't know how to depict pain. Like, you know, like this sounded like some fine arts project or some shit. So I was just like, all right, I sat there and I was just like, maybe I could just start ripping him up.
Yeah.
So I just started fucking tearing pieces. And I had an Air Max 95 at my desk. You know how there's like it goes around?
What do you mean?
The 95, like there's like 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh, yeah.
panels,
The
like,
rings?
panels, yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's crazy. With that shoe, I started making those rings. Like, you know, like I would like make that like roundabout. And I would keep tearing the fucking paper. I photocopied that in. That shit was the shoe.
That's
like,
crazy.
That was it. Like, but like, if I hear music, like, I remember there was a project that I did just personally. When Life of Pablo came out, I kept listening to that shit. So I was just fuck it. I'm going to do a little poster series. I depicted each song exactly the way that I heard it. You know, if I heard red, I put red in that shit. If I put, and I made it super abstract. There's no like actual figures or faces in it. It's just, and even the type, it stays exactly the same. It's only just the imagery that kind of changes,
And
you
the
know.
colors, and the
Hmm.
vibes, yeah.
And like and then on the back track listing, I made like these like little bars, and it just signified how long the song was. Like this was a minute long, this was 2 minute long, 3 minute long, 1 minute long, and I started putting it all the track numbers like that as well.
Mm.
So it's like there's different ways to kind of like show sound
Oh.
through like through design and through visuals. You know, it's not just all videos. I feel like people can get a lot from a story just with a picture. You
Right.
know.
That's real, man.
Yeah.
Who are your favorite artists right now?
Artists. Damn. Shit. I would say Jenny Holzer is up there. She's like I saw some shit in New York with her. I saw some other stuff at the Broad as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I fuck with like that whole Warhol era with Herring and with like John Jaspers
Yeah.
and all those type of artists as well.
Yeah. How about musical artists? Like,
And also, oh shit, wait, one more. Mark Bradford. That guy has like the sickest fucking art. Basically, like there's like this one piece that he did, and he basically depicted like the Black Wall Street during the time. There was a time where all those business got burned down.
right.
And obviously, it's because they're doing well, and he just depicted. Oh shit! It's over here. You see that over there?
Yeah.
Those things.
All
That's
crazy.
all the black parts are the places that are burned.
Oh, wow.
The other places are the city. But
That's
then
wild.
that piece is like huge. So there's like a bunch of these everywhere. It's like a
That's
map.
crazy.
Like Mark Bradford, he's crazy. But wait, you said rappers, right?
Yeah. Or just like, I wanted to see who your like favorite like artists were, and then like musical artists, because we're trying to bridge that.
Musical artists. So I have a pretty wide range when it comes to music. I was raised on classic rock mainly.
Yeah.
So Queen, I listened to since I was in my mom's stomach.
Uh-huh.
I heard if I was kicking and they played records, I would stop.
Wow.
Like it wasn't classical music, I
That's
wouldn't respond to
crazy.
that. But if they
Wow.
played Queen, I would just
Yeah.
stop. And they were like, all right, so I guess this guy likes this band. Zeppelin, Sabbath, like all that shit was shown to me very early on. Pink Floyd. And then on my own, I discovered like hip hop and R&B. So then obviously I found people like Pac, Dre, Snoop.
How about right now?
Right now.
Who's on your playlist?
Oh, Baby Keem.
Baby Keem.
Bro, shout out to We Outside, bro. Nathan, fucking Drew, Collins. But yeah, they put me on that shit. I think it was Drew put me on that. But Baby Keem, that guy's like the one to watch. I feel like I don't know this other dude, 88 Glam, but I know that one song, Baby Bro, and that shit is hard as fuck. That shit slaps.
You mentioned who's it called? Snow Allegra too.
Oh, Snow
I mean,
Allegra, bro.
she
Oh
was
my
shit.
god. Her shit is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Snow Allegra, if you're listening, I love you.
That's crazy, because you remember when we hop in your whip, you were playing Snow Allegra, and then Connie was like, "Yo, that's all I've been playing."
Yeah,
like the whole flight, like the whole airport experience, like she was listening to Snow Allegra,
Her
and
voice.
then right when we landed, it's like more Snow Allegra.
Something about that
Yeah,
voice.
no, she's tight. She's
And
tight as fuck.
then, who is it? Boogie.
Of course.
Boogie is like my favorite West Coast rapper right now. I would say The Baby.
The Baby's crazy.
Snaps on everything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, those are like, I don't know too many new artists. Like, that whole like auto-tune rap stuff, which like, I get to hear just like from like, I don't know, like Young Nudie. He's tight. Like, I'll listen to some of his shit, but I don't know them by name, you know? I just know if I hear the song.
Yeah.
Like, but
I know songs more than artists these days.
I always do.
You know what
I
I mean?
always have. I don't know the artist.
Yeah.
Like,
A lot of artists just have like 1-2 good songs, and then
yeah.
and they kind of vanish.
That's kind of the generation now. It's not, people have too short of an attention span to like pay attention to an entire project.
Yeah.
So they just want to see a 15
Singles.
second like teaser on Instagram, and then maybe they'll click the link in your bio to the Spotify.
And songs are like 2 minutes. Like,
2
there's
minutes.
songs that are like a minute 30,
Max.
just banging for a minute
Max.
30, and then it's over, and you're just like, wait, that was tight, but it's already over.
It's over.
It's kind of like a streaming strategy too, because it makes you play it over,
Play it over.
and over and over.
You don't want to stop.
Yep.
it leaves them wanting more, which is an insane formula. But I'm also like super a fan of the formula, like Frank Ocean doing pyramids,
of course.
Queen making Bohemian Rhapsody, like
yeah, change ups,
like specifically telling the industry, "Fuck you."
Yeah,
you're gonna listen to all of this shit. You know,
it
like
don't matter. Yeah,
yeah, like this is a full story, so you're just gonna listen to it.
Fuck the standard and fuck the what is it, guidelines that you've given to us.
Yeah, I think that Pyramids was supposed to be somewhat of a troll, like on the industry.
And then end up being
I
like
think
6 minutes.
yeah, I
Like,
think it legit was.
Yeah.
Like I heard that somewhere. I think somebody told me that, but like
that makes sense. Yeah.
It does because people would probably like, bro, it's 6 minutes long. Like, he's been gone for a minute, but
yeah,
6 minutes or 7 minutes, I don't know. It might have been even longer. Shit, it might have been like 10.
I think it was like 7 minutes or 8 minutes or something like that. Yeah. We'll check. We'll fact check it later.
Fact check.
People that do music want to design.
Yeah.
And be in that world. People that design want to be doing music.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like sports and music too, you know? Yeah.
No, for sure. What do they say? They say like rappers want to be rap stars want to be ball players.
Yeah.
Vice versa, whatever.
Exactly.
I feel like that is really true.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. Well, shit, we're in Oregon right now. What brought you up here? Do you want to tell the story about how you got the job at Nike and how many,
Man,
you know?
That shit was crazy. So, essentially, I was going to Art Center at the time. That's up in Pasadena. And I was just trying to get my graphic design degree. To be 100% honest, the way I started design, I was just making T-shirts, selling them out the back of my trunk, 98 Camry, and I would just be riding that around. And in Koreatown, La Crescenta, anywhere I could go, I had little homies in like Cerritos, just like slanging tees and just like helping me out. And then up until that point, I thought that in order to get to the next level, I needed some sort of degree. So I said either business or design. So I went to CSUN for design and business, I guess, but I dropped out within a year and a half.
Same route.
Worked for a year at my parents' dry cleaners. Then finally I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to Art Center. Go there, meet a lot of people. Came across an email that said Nike internship for this year. I think it was like 2015 or 14.
Yeah.
And then I got that shit and I just closed it up. I didn't even like look at it because I knew that it was in Oregon. And then talked to my ex at the time and she was just like, what did she say? She was like, don't be dumb. Mm-hmm. Like just like it's gonna be 3 months. Like, cause I was like, it's not in LA. Like I don't want to go. Right. Like what am I gonna do in Oregon?
Do that shit.
And she was just like, it's 3 months. Like what's it gonna be? Like you're just gonna stay here, you know? And so I was just like, I was interning for the hundreds at the time, so I thought I was good.
Right.
And all I cared about was like making T-shirts and streetwear shit for my friends. So I was like, all right, fuck it. Let's expand the horizon a little bit. Applied. Immediately like linked with like the recruiters that were like super super good to me, and they got me in the right place, and I got hired for T-shirts actually. A lot of people don't know I wasn't hired for footwear. I was hired to make Nike T-shirts.
Yeah, it's logos and stuff.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, like I love Nike and all, but I don't really rock Nike T-shirts. So like I wasn't super stoked on the job.
I fucking love Nike.
Yeah,
I don't have one Nike shirt, bro. Not one.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I was just like, all right, like. This is how it's gonna be. I'm gonna go in and just try to take as many meetings as possible. Mm-hmm. And then thankfully I met good friend now, design director Eric Godo. Shout out to Eric Godo. He kind of like guided me through the process, and he was just like, "Yo, there is such a thing as like a graphic designer that could do shit for shoes, like, and
showed you the avenue."
Yo, there's less than 10 on campus right now. I think maybe like no, I would say like 15 total. During the time that he came up, there was like 1 or 2.
Yeah, but before he put that into your mind, like, you didn't think that was possible.
I didn't think that was a job. Yeah. Like I didn't know that. Like I didn't know that was a job.
I feel like that's a common thing with us growing up. We didn't know these jobs even existed. Mm-mm. I didn't know what engineers were and what they did because they never shed light on that. You know what I mean? It's more recently producers, but. When I was growing up, even the producers didn't get the shine like that. Yeah, Timberland, Dr. Dre, like, blah, blah, blah. They got the shine, but it was mostly just the artists. And it's just like, damn, they must just go in there and press record and go off. You know what I mean? But it's like it's the complete opposite. It's everyone behind the scenes that makes
Yes,
the ship run. You
it's
know?
very true.
Yeah, and
It's
that's
very
it's
true.
crazy because like we're so limited in the way we think before we find what we love to do,
Yeah.
and everyone's so like pressured into finding what they love to do. It's like
Mm,
no, you don't just stumble upon something like that, you know.
yeah.
You put yourself into those situations like the internship, if you didn't take that,
Who knows where I would have
yeah, where
been?
the fuck would you be at?
I think you know what? Like it's funny. I thought about that. I'd probably remain somewhere in like some sort of like fashion streetwear
Yeah, yeah,
type shit, like menswear shit.
yeah. But
Be totally happy,
I
but
think
like
you would have
not
got
know.
sick. I think you would have got sick with
Oh,
it.
100%.
Yeah,
Like I'm the type of person that can't sit still for a second,
yeah.
let alone be at a company or a place that is not constantly like
Pushing
challenging
you.
me, pushing me.
Yeah,
Like
man.
that shit is the same shit. Like what is it? Like being at a studio where you run into A-list rappers,
Yeah, yeah.
A-list singers, R&B artists, bands, and then going to a place where it's like, yo, these are like the only locals
Yeah,
record
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah.
Like
Then you already tasted what it's you already had a taste of it, and then you coming back, it's just like fuck. You know what I mean?
your scope of work is just way too wide at
Mm,
that point to
yeah.
just narrow it down to
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Unless that's truly like what you're called to do.
yeah.
But
I can understand if you were like 30 years in the game,
yes, yeah, yeah.
big artist, and then being like, fuck this, I hate this, I'm gonna dumb it down. But then if you never even tasted it or seen what it's like, it's like you don't know what possibilities are out
Yeah.
there. You know what I mean? So like both of us, if we didn't do an internship and we didn't stick that out,
Yeah.
bro, we would be doing some weak shit. Like to be honest, you know what I
That's
mean?
real. If you
Yeah,
haven't seen the world, you can't design for the world.
yeah.
Like
Oh,
you can't.
exactly. That's deep.
You can't. And if you listen to one type of music, you can't make
You're
music
very very
for the
limited.
people. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? That you can make music for you.
yeah,
Like you could like it all you want, but
yeah.
like,
But you can't be mad at the lack of success.
mm-mm,
You know what
no,
I mean?
never. You're
Because
not.
you're not thinking, you're not keeping other people in mind. You're just doing shit for yourself.
It's a selfish mentality.
Yeah.
You know, I think everybody goes through that phase, but the real ones and the ones that like understand the process know how to let go of that at a
Mm-hmm.
certain point. You
Yeah.
know, they don't just like, oh, this is all I do.
It's being vulnerable and understanding that sometimes we're wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like something that took me so long to come to that conclusion, but it's like after I realized that, that's when most of my growth took place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
That's for
okay,
sure.
I did everything this way worked for me, and then suddenly you get to a level where that shit does not work anymore. You gotta pivot, you gotta adjust, you gotta learn. But a lot of people are just like, man, fuck them. People are fake. Or you know, they'll make excuses.
That's the best. I
They'll
love
make
when people do
excuses
that.
for other people instead of looking inward and being accountable for themselves and shit. And like that shit makes no sense, but
I
it
mean,
is it is the way it is.
that's the type of thing that we used to talk about all the time growing
Yeah.
up. Like we'd be like, man, this like people from our town or like people that we run across to at least up until this point in our lives are not people who truly push themselves. And there are that handful, select few that we keep around, and they're our close friends and like people we confide in. But for the most part, people are extremely stagnant. They're super
Yeah.
comfy. Like
Yeah.
they don't need they don't like the pressure, you know? People like you, people like me, we feed off of that,
Yeah.
you know? Because I think there's nothing more embarrassing than folding under pressure.
Yeah.
And it's something that we can't.
You know what I think it is too? It's like when you see the benefits of it, when you see what comes out from overcoming some shit like that, we tasted that, right? Through the internship, through you moving out here, that was hella uncomfortable. Like
it's terrible.
you've been out here for how long you been out here?
Shit, it's, I said it's terrible. It's not terrible, but fuck. It's just a really big move, but, how long has it been now? It's been a year.
Yeah.
It's been a year, so it's like a year and some change. But yeah, that entire year long process, I was told that like that's gonna happen no matter what. I'm like somebody who can adjust to things really quickly, or I like to at least think I do, like on the exterior. That shit did not adjust. Like it was
Yeah.
totally different. The people are different. The genetic makeup
Culture.
of the entire fucking city is
Oh yeah, yeah,
different.
yeah.
Culture is different, bro. Like the food is fucking different, and the food is great. Like Portland has great food, but like it's just not this food back in
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
LA. You know?
Of course.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. I don't know if I would have been able to do that. You know what I mean? I like.
It's crazy.
I would have managed somehow, but from the outside looking in, it's like that's an amazing thing that you've done.
Yeah.
And like,
Thanks, man.
yeah, for the future.
Yeah, I
Right.
mean, yeah, it's insurance, isn't it? You
Yeah,
know,
for sure.
like we're just trying to insure our future,
Yeah.
like, and make sure that we can come up and make sure that we inspire and help the people around us as well.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes like that looks really, really good on the resume. You
Yeah,
know, like some of the people that I've worked with that I probably wouldn't work with now.
Mhm.
I'm glad I worked with them still because it's like, oh, you work with this person.
Yes.
And then that gives you more credibility.
Yeah.
Like you being a designer at Nike, it's like now any door you get into, you kind of have that upper
Yeah.
hand, you know, the advantage.
I'm not gonna lie, it makes you a little bit more confident when you have a swoosh on your
for
resume.
sure, for sure.
Yeah. Like just cause not, I mean, it's like stupid when people like try to say like, oh, man, like it must be so great. You must get free shoes all the time and shit. It's like, yeah, you kind of do, but I think the great part of it is that you finally get the recognition for the work that you do.
Yeah.
So it's like I was at Art Center for what, like maybe 4 years. I would say the higher ups, like the chair, the board, whatever you want to call them, like they didn't look at my work ever. If anything, they try to change the style of my design. They would be like, hey, we know you like sneakers, we know you like hip hop and rock and music and shit, but like, why don't you like get interested in like designing chairs or some shit? Like, you know, like, and I was just like, chairs?
They were trying to box you in.
Which is crazy. Like, I ended up liking it on my own because I'm a stubborn motherfucker, but then I ended up finding about that shit on my own.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
when they tell you to like something, it's hard to like it.
but they did intro it to me.
Yeah.
So it's like, I credit them for that. But
Yeah.
it's just that, like, yeah, during that time, man, like, if you looked like me, dressed like me, designed like me, they didn't give a fuck about you. So after I took my internship, come back, I sit back down with, like, the director and the board, and he was just like, yo, this shoe's amazing, you know? And that was, like, the first time I ever put out product for Nike. And it was a Kobe, too, which that shit was wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You did a Kobe, you did a LeBron. While you're interning, right?
LeBron.
You did
Yeah.
a pair of Kobe's, you did a pair of LeBrons. What else did you do while you were interning?
KD.
Damn, KD. So,
Everybody that like was anybody in basketball at the time I
Yeah.
touched. Yeah.
And do they normally use intern
Never.
designs?
Never. Like, I mean, no, sorry, I don't want to say never. Like, I'll probably say very rarely.
Right.
And I think the most rare situation, the reason why I was able to even accomplish that much was because I was put on extension for like, 5 months, which was even longer than the internship.
Yeah.
And immediately HR was like, nah, like this is kind of like whatever. This is kind of a touchy subject because we don't want this kid to be like, I'm not going back to school.
Yeah.
You know, like I still hadn't graduated.
Right.
So I'm doing this shit before I even graduated.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I think the director at the time, Leo, he kind of fought for me. And he was just kind of like, no. Like, he's definitely going to do his shit. Like, he just needs to finish out, like, the scope of work that we gave him. Right. And he just feels like, if this is cut off now, like, basically these projects takes a year, about a year before you even see them.
Right.
Like, from the point that I have them to the point that you have them in your hands, it takes about a year. So I was just like, I need to see some of these projects all the way through. I don't want people, like, touching it and editing it in a way that I wouldn't have done.
Right.
You know? So I was just like, you know, and it wasn't based off of like, oh, I don't trust like the other dudes. It was more like I was the only graphic designer there other than, you know, my manager at the time. That was it. There wasn't another guy, you know? Like they had to bring somebody in to replace me,
Right,
you know?
right. So it wouldn't have been the level of work that you would have wanted.
I mean, like those guys are super cool, but it's just like, you know, when you make a beat from your own self and your own like head, there are certain times you want somebody to lay down the drums for you, but there are certain times where you're just like, nah, this is my first beat ever.
Yeah.
Like I don't want nobody touching this shit. You know, like I want to finish this all on my own, and then later on I'll learn how to do that whole back and forth thing. But yeah, which is what I'm learning now.
What happened post internship?
Post internship shit, man. Came back to LA, everybody's like, oh, you made it.
You made it. Dad
Yeah,
all
like,
proud and shit.
yeah, I think it was more so that like I think people kind of get it misconstrued, like, and there are different positions at Nike. So some are not as maybe desired as others. Just like one could be like designing T-shirts, which is great. You know, like that could be it could be fun. I ended up did having fun on that shit, and I did get product made. So that was like I was super thankful. But then you could be doing shoes, and then the type of shoes are different. Like if you're into running or basketball or
And
whatever.
then like signature shoes and shit like that.
So I was in basketball, so I got to fuck with signature shoes.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying like it already was like it was helping me out like no matter what, you know, just because of the names attached to it. It's not like I know any of them personally or anything like that or even met them, you know. If anything, I've just seen them around campus, you know. Like I seen LeBron at the cafeteria, Mia Hamm cafeteria. I was like going to get breakfast, and
like,
I look over here.
Holy shit.
Dude's just at the fucking thing, like what is that called? Like where all the food is set up, the buffet shit, like the line, and he was just grabbing food like me, and I was like,
That's LeBron.
yeah, I was like,
Yeah. That's
shit
hilarious,
was crazy.
man. Hey, so after the internship, right?
Yeah,
How long were you in LA before they got you back to come back up?
I would say 3 years, 4 years max, but I think it was 3.
And in that time, how many times did they try to get you?
Shit.
I remember you telling me,
I
hey,
was like,
they offered me another a job again, but no, I'm not going to take it. I'm just like, I mean, yeah, okay, whatever makes you happy, but that's Nike. And you're like, yeah, that's whatever.
Nah,
and then later on, hey, we got a higher position. And then it's like, I'm considering it. But nah, I'm going to pass again. I'm just like, whoa, like,
yeah,
to have that, like, self-worth and self-value,
man.
I think that's a really important thing because there's one part of, like, working really, really hard and paying your dues, and then there's another part of realizing your value and understanding that if you go to work for someone or some place that undervalues you, you're not going to be happy. Because every day it's going to feel like work. But when you go somewhere where they put you in the dope fucking shit and you get compensated for it, then it's like, this is I do what I love and I get paid for it.
Like what wouldn't I do?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At that point, like what wouldn't I do? Which is at the point I am right now. I feel like I'm getting to do the work that I want to do. I get to work on a lot of athlete stuff. I got to take meetings with OBJ, Mbappe, like Kaepernick. Like,
crazy.
Bro, these are like people that we only see through a fucking box.
Yeah.
You know, through a screen.
Yeah.
And they're like standing there in front of you telling me what they like and what they don't like about the shit I designed for them.
Yeah.
Like that shit is
shit's
tight.
real.
Yeah.
That shit's
like
crazy. I feel the same way. Like
that shit is tight. It's cool.
You know that conversely, like the people that I have these moments and meetings with, they're people that you only hear on the radio or hear on your phone and things like that. And it's like when you're actually in the room with these guys, you're like, you have to understand, like, wow, the hard work that we put in finally manifested.
Absolutely.
And like practicing gratitude every day, for me, that's what makes everything worth it and makes everything so like easy to manage and deal with, because it's like, what's the worst that can happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, look what I've done with nothing and where I came from and all that shit, you know?
Yeah.
And like that makes me really appreciative of everything that I do have.
Yeah. I mean, like, we're in a position where, like, I know your parents, you know my parents. Like, your dad talks to my dad, like, he comes visits him and he says, what's up? And he's like, yo, how's Qudoe doing? Yeah. This is how Youngin's doing, like, da-da-da-da. Like, I know exactly where we came from, and I know that's why we're able to be retrospective about our lives.
That shit's so crazy because our parents know shit about us that we don't even know about each other.
Yeah,
like, my dad would be like, hey, you want to see Qudoe this weekend? Isn't he in New York? Isn't he in New York right now? I'm like, wait, what? What do you mean New York? And I'm like, Qudoe, you're in New York right now? Yeah, I'm in New York right now. How'd you know? My dad told me. Like, what the fuck?
Crazy, like,
yeah, that shit's crazy.
I didn't even like I didn't even think about it. I was like, why do you know that? And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, no, it's just that for sure. Like
Yeah.
I know that.
You know
But
what's wild though? Like between our parents, like you know how Korean parents they're like really competitive. Like,
oh
oh
yeah,
my son did this.
yeah,
Oh
yeah,
no, my
yeah.
son did this. But with our parents, they're like proud of
Ain't shit
us.
to compare at that
Yeah,
point
yeah.
because
Your
everyone's
dad's
doing
proud of
good.
me, and
Yeah,
my
like
dad's
that's
proud
what
of
it
you,
is.
and it's like
Yeah,
that shit's crazy because it's not even like we've like you guys have seen each other multiple times.
yeah.
You know, maybe once or time or once or twice in like passing or anything, but like there's friends that in my life that are closer to my parents, but they don't feel that way about them.
Oh, 100
You
percent.
know?
Yeah.
So I think that's a cool thing to have. Like more than my parents being proud of me, but like someone I respect their parents being proud of me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Absolutely. Like I feel like even my parents, they just I like they could tell your character just based off of meeting your mom and dad. You
Mm.
know, so they're just like anything I say or
Mm-hmm.
said about you, they'll be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Sounds
Like I
legit. Sounds
yeah,
legit.
it sounds right.
Yeah.
Like that sounds exactly like what that guy's son would
Yeah,
be.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like the first time like your dad came over to my house at one point and he literally looked at me and was like and then I just like kind of like inside I was like, oh okay, like I know it's here, and then I just left because I
Mm-hmm.
had to go somewhere. My parents later was just like, do you remember the other shit that was at our house? I was
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah. And he's just like, he said that you remind him of his son, and I was like, who's his son? And
Yeah.
then he was just like, I don't know. It's like this guy, like he's kind of tall, like he dresses like you. He sags his pants. He sags his
Please don't
pants,
go.
wears his hat like kind of like this and stuff. And I was like, how old is he? And then like they said the year you graduated or something, and I was just like, dude, there's only one person that looked exactly like that and was doing all that shit and played football. Like he did all the same shit. I was just like, yeah, I know who that is for
Damn,
sure.
that's
Like,
hilarious.
and
Full
that,
circle,
yeah,
man. It's fucking,
that
it's
really is.
crazy.
It's full circle for
Yeah,
real.
man.
Yeah.
It's crazy because like the way that everything just panned out
Mm-hmm.
and worked out in our lives is like it's really satisfying to see.
Yeah.
And like the whole way we kept each other accountable.
Yeah.
And like if they're anytime I hit a milestone or something,
Oh yeah, that's
there's only a
my
couple
favorite.
people that I'll tell, like
Mm-hmm.
Connie, my wife,
Yeah.
like Joe, my
Yep.
brother, Qudoe, because I know if I tell you guys, it's not like, oh, look at him showing off. It's more
Yeah.
like, hey, you guys saw how much time and work I put
Yeah.
in. Look what I got from it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I try not to brag about anything.
I know.
You know the way I am. I'd rather tell nobody
that. I told you
anything. Yeah.
Tell everybody.
But to you guys, like I'm so proud of like my accomplishments because
Yeah.
like in a way you guys helped me get past them too.
For
You
sure.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like thanks to you guys. I'm saying thank you by telling you what I did.
Dude, for sure.
Yeah.
And like that's how I feel because I remember that's like every time I haven't seen or heard from you for a while, it's like he's working.
Mm.
And then vice versa. And if I do get a phone call, like that shit is already like I know what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Something happened. Something
Yeah.
good happened. Like somebody gave you an offer, this
Yeah.
and that. I got the call when you got the shit with Hit Boy, when you got offers before that,
Yeah.
when you got placement with
Yeah.
like Korean artists that are like popping.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
that get millions of views within days. Like, you know, like that's the type of people you were working with at that point. And this was the same duo that was just inside a chalice just fucking around. You
Yeah.
know, like, and it's just to see where it came from. I think within a year you got placement.
Yeah.
Like that shit was,
That's pretty
it
cool.
went quick.
Yeah.
You know? And just because you're Hit Boy's engineer does not mean that people are just gonna be like, oh yeah, that beat slaps.
Yeah.
Like, if
Nah.
it sucks, it
Yeah.
sucks, bro. Like, you
If
know,
it sucks, they ain't paying you.
No, they ain't
or
paying
they
you
ain't
shit.
releasing.
No.
Yeah. In the real world,
Yeah.
like your connections only get you so far. Your connections might get you in the room,
Yeah.
but you still gotta you know, appeal to them and show them what you got. And it's gotta be good.
Yeah.
Like the more your standards are
Yeah.
raised, like when we step in a room, our expectations are already the expectations on us are already high.
Yes.
You feel me?
Yeah.
By you being in Nike, by me being associated with these people,
Yes.
when we come to a room or if people come to us, it's already like, okay, we expect this level of work.
Sure.
And in a way, it's like, that shit's so scary.
That's a fire in your ass.
Because for you, you have to do better than your last design every single time. For me, I have to do better than my last mix every single time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for people that really are like, oh, I wish I was in that position, I don't know. Like, it gets hard sometimes.
Yes.
Like, every piece of work we put out, we have to beat it the next time. And then again and again and again and again. And the second that we backtrack or we deliver a shitty product, that can be our ass.
Yeah, you're only as good as best. I mean, what is it? You're only as good as your last. You know, your last project, like that shit, kind of in a fucked up way defines who you are and what you're doing at the time. Your mental state, like what you can perform under pressure.
Yeah.
You know, that shit is crazy.
Has that pressure ever like got to you?
Yeah, all the time. Like,
how do you deal with it?
Man, I don't even know.
You just get through it, right?
I have so many vices, honestly, and I luckily I have good people around me. They hold me down. I would say like the friends that I met, like both homies and the homegirls.
Yeah.
Like there's plenty of homegirls that hold me down. Like close friends from back home.
Right.
Getting a phone call from you, getting a phone call from someone like Jeremy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I feel like, oh, okay, I'm good. I get a phone call from Creeper. I'm like, oh, okay, Creep. He's good too? All right, cool. Weezy's good? Cool. Yeah. Everybody at home is good. That means I should be good too. You know what I'm saying? Like, that makes me, like, you know, it helps me.
Or the opposite, where it's like everyone has their problems too. Like, when we call with like, fuck, man, you know what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
And then you're just like, oh, okay, so what I'm going through right now, it's kind of like everyone's going through shit.
Yeah.
You know? Like with social media and shit like that, it's hard to remember that everybody's going through shit.
Yeah.
Right? We're all like, oh, this person just bought a house. Oh my God, this person worked with so-and-so. Or they did this work. And then you think that that's all that they're doing. No, like they might have got a house, but now they owe the bank $500,000. You know what I mean? The second you're late on these shits, you're fucked.
Yeah,
like,
it's done.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that come with these wins, as it appears.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That you have to go through, and it's like, and sometimes you need someone to remind you and keep you accountable. Like, hey, we're going through this shit too.
Yeah.
As much as we're winning together, we're losing together. You know what I mean?
That's real.
It's like a team that I keep stressing, like, success is a team effort, right? Whether you get support from your wife, your parents, your homies, whatever it is, you just need to know that when you guys lose, you guys are losing together. And when you're winning together. And that person, when those people are cool with that and they buy into that idea, all right, we're winning together, we're losing together. No matter what it takes, we're going to win a championship.
Yeah.
That's when you finally like, okay, everything just makes a little bit more sense.
It's that same mentality that you're talking about when you say there are a handful of people where I will tell my good news to because they won't take it the wrong way.
Exactly.
The reason being is because, and I'm the same way, and the reason is because you know those people are going to genuinely be happy when you tell them that. Because they're also rooting for your success because they want to somehow help with it and ride with you there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the worst thing that I've ever heard from like celebrities or whoever, like I heard in interviews and shit, is survivor's guilt.
Yeah.
That shit is the most, like, I felt it on a very small level. Like, not anything crazy, you know? But, like, being able to have made it and see friends that don't, like, there's nothing that hurts more than that.
The guilt that comes with
that shit fucking sucks.
Right.
Like, I'm talking about that shit fucking keeps you awake at night. Like,
of course.
What the fuck? Like, my friends are, like, struggling for, like, to pay the next bill. They can't keep their lights on and shit, and I'm here, like, fucking blowing bands on whatever the fuck. Like literally, I just don't give a fuck. I wake up and I just do whatever the fuck I want to do. And they're sitting there like penny pinching, making sure that like every fun, like.
I mean, shit, it's a balance though, like, because we don't have control of what their actions are.
But think about this. I tell that friend like, yo, I just got hired at Nike.
Yeah, I see where you're getting
They just gave me this check, they just gave me this bonus, they just gave me this salary, they just gave me like vacation days. Like, you're happy for me, right?
And it's like, and then they're just like, I just had fucking 2 cheeseburgers from McDonald's for dinner.
That's,
bitch, what the fuck?
And then you're like, you're not gonna be happy for me? Like,
yeah.
you're not a real friend. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's like, oh, y'all are haters.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
oh, now that somebody gets a little bit of money, the real side comes out.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's fucked up to think too. And it's an easy way to go about it, but it's not true. It's just that they're just not in that space to be.
Yeah.
You don't tell somebody whose mom just died, like, yo, I just won
my
the
mom loves
lottery.
me.
Yeah, yeah. No, that. Yeah. You
I
don't
just
tell
had
them.
the greatest compliment
Right.
with my mom.
Yeah, like,
well, fuck
oh,
you.
tight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why
no,
would
I
you?
get what you mean. I get what you mean.
So I think that's why, in a way, I just prefer to keep friends that like are constantly trying to push themselves.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not like even some sort of shallow thing. It's kind of like
It's not. If anything, it's the deepest shit because like you have to like cut people off, right? Yeah. And like if you have a team and there's like 3 people at the end of the bench that aren't doing anything for your team, that are hurting your team,
Yes.
then it's like you'd be stupid to keep them on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's 3 other people out there that would kill to be in those spots.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And that can help you become better. Mm-hmm. Like I like surrounding myself with people that are constantly pushing themselves because that's gonna push me.
Yes.
You know, like if I'm the best in my group, then everything I do is good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if we're constantly pushing each other, you're like, okay, I landed this deal, then it's like, okay, I need to push myself to get something too, so I can be like, hey, I got this one. You know what I mean? And it's like it's all out of love. As long as we're working and grinding, it's always gonna be love because we're not gonna feel insecure about it. You know what I mean? Hey, you helped me get this. Look, I did it.
That's for sure.
And then the next time it's like, okay, you helped me get this. Look what I did.
100%.
You know?
Yeah. And I think the best relationships that were formed, and I mean, including yours that I have with you, it was never about like figuring out what I can do for you or what you could do for me.
No.
It just happened. You know? Like just like how really close I'm a type of person, I don't ask for help. Yeah. I don't like asking for help. So if I ask you for help, it's not like an honor, but it's like I really trust you, and I feel like your character is somebody that would help me without like thinking so deeply into it. Like, yo, I got this guy now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's never that.
But like the best people that I met, I never felt that with, and I never even thought about it. I would give the last dollar in my wallet to them because I don't give a fuck because I know they would do the same for me.
Right.
Like, should I not have that? I know they would do the same because they have done it for me.
Yeah,
like,
and without expectations. Because that's a different topic too. It's like there's people that just do shit for other people with expectations of getting it back.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
You know what I mean? Like
you can spot them from a mile.
Yeah. But it's hard to spot that when you're younger.
Oh,
like now we can spot it.
Yeah.
You know, and like, dude, even this logo. You did this logo.
Yeah.
You know, the Koreatown tattoo. He designed that. He got it. Like, this is him. You know what I mean? Like, you're literally in my fucking life, this shit, bro. Like,
shout out
half a mil.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like
100%.
it's crazy. Like, once you hit that synergy and you feel what it just like envelops you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like now, whether we like it or not, we're in each other's lives.
Like, think about like you. Man, if you really think about this shit, like you help some of my like goals come true, like without even knowing. You know, like when I got the call, like I was with a different client. I was helping open a restaurant in Koreatown, and I was over at the site. This shit was in like shambles and shit, and like I was helping out, like figuring out where the logo goes or whatever the fuck. And then I get a call from you, and it's been a minute, and you're like, yo, you'll never guess who I'm working with. I'm like, I don't know, bro. Just tell me, like, just guess, bro. And I'm like, I don't fucking know, bro. And you're like, Dom. And I was like, Dom who? And you're like, Dom. And I'm like, no. I'm like,
that's
no.
Like your favorite rapper
like, no.
all time and shit.
Yeah, like for me, it's just like, you know, it's for like I always say, for us, it wasn't Snoop Dogg, Nate Dogg, and fucking Warren G. You know, I mean, it was, but it wasn't in the sense of like when we were in high school.
Yeah.
For us, it was Nipsey, YG, and Don Kennedy.
Yeah. Kendrick.
So, and Kendrick is like, I put him always in like his own shit just because like, I don't know, that shit is just like.
Yeah. Kendrick Cole.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're kind of
Yeah, like they just kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
transcend that.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like completely just born and raised LA music that's like straight fucking West Coast that everybody knows. Like it was those three,
Yeah.
you know? Like, man, and then you told me you're working with Dom. I literally sped out of there. Like I went to my client, I was like, yo, I gotta like something came up, I gotta leave. And they're like, oh, okay. And then I just fucking bounced. Went to the studio, listened to new $500,000 shit. I was like, man, this shit slaps. Like, we been needed this.
And then you end up doing all the covers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's
bro, we were in the room, like, we're talking about putting the projects together and stuff, and it's like, oh, here's my chance. Hey, my homie does artwork. He works at Nike. He did LeBron, Kobe's, KD's, and then they're like, oh shit, bring him over. Boom, instant. Came over, and then like by the end of that week, album cover was done.
Bro, like that, man, that day. So when all that was happening, I was at the crib. We were about to go watch a movie or some shit, like with my friends, like, and I got that call. I legit like
get the fuck over here, bro.
For real, I literally told all my friends, I was like, yo, I need to leave.
Yeah.
And they're like, why? And they're like, Hit Boy wants to meet up. And they're like, okay. Fucking book it over to Burbank. And I'm like setting up my laptop saying what's up to him.
Yeah.
And it was all surreal and shit. And then he was like, you said, I feel like him or Hit or you said, like, show him your work. And I was just like, oh yeah, for sure. Broke out my laptop, showed him my website. And he was just like,
that's tight.
damn, you did the Kobe's? I was like, yeah, he was just like,
that's
damn. Yeah, he was like going to somebody. I forgot. It was like BC or some shit. He was like, yo, man, it's fucking. Yeah. I was like, bro, you're tripping about my work. You made like Watch the Throne.
Yeah.
Like you made Backseat Freestyle.
Kobe,
like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this shit is like, I never thought that shit would happen. Like, and then lo and behold, like what, one session later, there's Dom, like in the session, and I was just like, damn, this shit is.
I was like, oh shit.
This shit is crazy. Shit is wild.
And it happens so organically. Like if we don't talk about it like this, there's no way, like we remember it. You know what I mean?
No.
Because it's like, how did? Because.
Well, I mean, shit. Well, for me, I would have remembered that shit no matter what.
But like the getting to that point where we have to remember.
Oh
it's
yeah.
Like, when are we gonna ever have that conversation where it's like, oh, remember like how our things started, or how you did the album covers for $500,000, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I don't think about that every day,
Yeah. No. Yeah.
and we don't get to talk about that
is
shit.
True.
Like we don't get to talk about our past and how we got to where we got. It's more like what we're doing in the future, or what we just did. Oh, I just did this project. Oh, I did this project.
Yeah.
And then what are you planning for the next year? What am I planning for the next year? It's like we never get the chance to talk about our past and be like, damn, it's crazy where we came from. Like, I used to record in my fucking garage.
Bro,
you used to slang t-shirts out the trunk. Like,
bro,
come
I used
on,
to slang t-shirts out the trunk. I used to fucking make mixtape covers for rappers in Koreatown and Long Beach.
Yep.
Like wherever the fuck they came from, they would come to me, and they're usually Korean. Because the word gets around fast. There weren't many designers at the time.
Yeah.
You went from mixing like the homie shit to like Big Sean shit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of shit. Like you went A-list from like.
Yeah, same for you.
Shit's wild.
The journey is.
This shit is wild though.
The journey is the best part, bro. 100%. Like,
100%.
Cause the destination is only where we wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Like my destination is when I die.
Yeah, shit is not over. Like there's so much to be done.
Yeah.
Like I tell my friends all the time, I wanna live 9 lives. Like I'm trying to live 9 lives.
Yeah.
Like, and what that means is like most people get one profession or one hobby that they're really fucking good at, and they just stick with that the rest of their lives. I want 9 of them.
I think that's why we really fuck with each other, because I forgot, I was having a conversation with a friend, and they asked like, if you lost everything today, how would you feel? I said I would be excited because then I get to do something else.
Start over.
I mean? Like,
start over.
I'm at a point where my confidence is so high from all the losses I've taken to get these little wins.
Yeah.
Now I'm at a point where I feel like I can do anything I want to do. And I have so many interests. I like electrical engineering. Yeah. I like video editing. I like taking pictures. I like so much shit.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, damn, I only have one life to to do everything I want to do. And like, I wish that we had more time, of course, and I wish I could do something else professionally, not to take away from what I do
Yeah.
because I love my job,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like there's so much shit to accomplish and like exciting things to
For
experience
sure.
out there.
But that's the thing. Like I tell anyone, and this goes out to like anybody that is trying to do something creative.
Mm-hmm.
It shit takes time. It takes time, and don't expect to be so good at it so quickly. Even if you're talented at it, like you might hit your plateau really quickly. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're really fast, and like I've seen people go for their undergrads at like 32.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people without college degrees with incredible corporate jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen people with college degrees with no jobs.
Yeah,
Like, like
a lot.
I can I can name like
Yeah.
so fucking many. I know you can too,
Oh
bro.
yeah, for sure.
Like and they went to good colleges, bro. They went to
Yeah.
UCs, they went to whatever the fuck.
And we know people that have like really good jobs that are fucking miserable.
Oh
That are
yeah,
making
that's
like
the
two or 300,000.
I'd say that's
a
the
year.
worst case. You know,
Yeah.
like when you could have the money, don't have the time to spend it,
Mhm.
don't have the desire to spend it at that point because you're not
Yeah.
happy. Like
Or like spending it doesn't make you happy.
yeah,
What happens then?
yeah.
Like you think you base your whole life upon money making you happy, and then you get all the money in the world, and it's like, fuck, I'm miserable. Then you have no option. Like,
Shit,
what do
I
you
hope
do
that's
from
not the
there? You know what I
case.
mean? That's my nightmare, bro. Like,
Yeah.
getting to a place where I'm comfortable financially and
Yeah.
not being happy with where I am or what I've accomplished or the
Yes.
people that I've helped
Mhm.
get to that same place. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
my thing is I don't want to realize it by myself. Cause when you get to the top by yourself, it's lonely as shit. What are you gonna do up there?
There ain't shit to do.
Who you gonna talk to about the journey up and the struggle that it took
Yeah.
to get up there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the more people you come up with, that's why I keep stressing that team thing. It's like the more people you come up with, it's like, damn, you remember the times we were used to slang shit out your trunk, where I used to pick up trash, the chalice. We get to talk about these moments, and it really means a lot.
I think the most important of that, like having those friends around, is that it checks you.
Mm-hmm.
It checks you and it makes you. It kind of helps you have a point of reference.
Mm.
So it's kind of like, and if I've evolved up until this point and I started here, I'm still over here and I can look at this because all the friends that I have while I'm still here, they came from here too.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So like when I say, yo, you remember back there? They're like, yes. I'm like, cool, let's keep going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that is so special. And you're gonna see, like, if you had a group of 5 in the beginning, it becomes 4, then 3, then 2.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it dwindles
Scary.
down. And sometimes it goes up and down, but for the most part, that shit weeds out.
And you add people along the way.
Exactly.
Like
Which
people are
is-
so scared of losing their friend for 20 years, but it's like you're gonna gain another friend that's gonna be here 20 years from now.
And chances are their parallel, like their path, was the exact same thing, but it was just parallel. It was
Yeah.
over there. So you guys
And they
never
never crossed,
intersected
yeah.
till now. You know? Like they were doing the same shit too.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know how many friends I met up here that like the conversations we had, the way they grew up, I'm talking about even racial issues, like, and they're not fucking Korean,
Mhm.
you know? Was very fucking similar, if not worse.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
Like LA, at least, like there is a lot of cultural diversity,
Yeah.
and a lot of middle America. Fuck that, bro. Like
Yeah.
it's so segregated to the point. Like I have friends from cities where it's like the top segregated cities in the world.
Mhm.
Like like, and that shit is crazy.
Yeah,
But
scary.
it is. It's terrible.
Yeah, I feel fortunate when I think about that.
Yeah, I'm glad I got to like meet everything at a young age. You
Yeah.
know, like before 18, you see everything kind of shit. You know, like you're not surprised.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's important.
Yeah, man. Well, shit, I'm fucking proud of you, bro. Like,
Fuck yeah, thanks, man.
we here, man.
I'm proud of you too, bro.
Thanks for fucking being on the show. You want to share your social with our followers? So
Yeah,
they can
absolutely.
follow you and
So
stuff like that?
you can follow me at Qudoe, Qudoe, on Instagram and pretty much anything else. I feel like, and yeah, that's about it.
Man. Pleasure.
Alrighty, bro.
Always dope to chop it up
For
with
sure,
you,
man. Yeah.
There it is.
E.